There was, yeah. Well, Tim Dennehy, less so Donal. Donal would rather just sit at the bar and be there. Donal didn't sing, very, very rarely, you know. But he would sit there. I can still see him. Do you know that statue that you have in Whelan's? At the end of the bar, there's a statue leaning on the bar with a soft hat. And when you come in at first, you're looking down and you're wondering, Jesus, who's your man? You know. Well, you know, Donal used to sit, you know, at the sessions for years, and he'd be sitting at the end of the bar with his cap on him. You know, I never saw him without his cap. I think he used to go to bed with it on him or whatever. But he'd be sitting there. But occasionally, with reluctance, he would take the job as Farrantee. But for years, it was Tim. Some people, particularly the people I mentioned earlier now, you know, all the sort of North Inner City people that I knew, thought Tim was a bit regimental or strict, you know. And they said it to me on numerous times, you know. They wouldn't say it to Tim now, you know, but they'd say it to me. And I'd be saying, look, lads, Jesus, it doesn't work any other way, you know. It's not like Taylor's Hall. It's not like down in, the Brazen Head, you know, and them places. This is the order, you know. This is the way it goes, you know. Then after Tim went into internal exile, him and Donal, down to Clare, I was asked to take over myself, and I was more or less running the club, but it was very ad hoc. It wasn't highly organised like it is today, you know, and it was run on a very ad hoc basis, very loose, and I was doing MC for years, and then we started sharing it out. And Róisín started doing it. And Barry Gleeson done it on quite a few occasions, but he didn't like doing it. You know, it just wasn't his thing, you know. And that was the scenario for years until I stopped doing it then. And Anton used to do it. Anton used to do it over the years, Anton O'Farrakhan, when we had a guest from the Gaeltacht. And Anton was our contact with the Gaelic culture, because his ma used to ring me to ask me, did I know where Anton was? You know, I was used to his ma because I was always ringing the house, you know, and I was up there quite a few times. And his ma'd be once or twice or more rang me that I know where he was, because he disappeared into the Gaeltacht. You know, he'd be with all his Irish-speaking friends. And he would do the Farrantee for that. And the Irish guests would stay with him, you know, or up in his ma's or whatever, you know. And then when he got his own place there in Inchicore, they'd be staying there. So it broadened out then, the Farrantee business, and then the club sort of reorganised under Jerry O'Reilly and Anne, and the committee, Róisín and myself, Frank Coates, and Jerry and Anne, and Anton. But I introduced the questions, and we asked a question. I introduced that for to sort of just to break to start off the session, other than just going straight into the singing when you ring the bell at 9:30, you know, just to have a bit of laugh. And I encourage people to tell jokes or whatever, because any jokes I ever heard on the street, I'd bring them in, you know, because I always consider that a singing session particularly, you know, it's as much a social occasion as it is a singing session, you know. And because there's songs about such divergent, issues. You'd have comic songs, war songs, love songs, you know, political songs, everything, you know. And it would, I encourage comment, you know, or slagging even, you know. And it would often draw the singer out, like, you know. But that's the way I think a singing session should be, not just strictly bang, 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 you know. I love to hear, personally, I love to hear a recitation or even poems, you know. I do a couple of little poems myself and one or two recitations. And Nick Murphy does the same. And Tom Crean, the Lord of Mercy on him, used to love the jokes, you know. If I had a joke, it might remind him or other people around, you know. Because it helps to break that little bit of tension, you know. And people are not inclined to want to start singing, when, you know, to be first, second or third, you know. So that some people dread that, like, you know, as if you were asking them to infect themselves with some sort of disease or other, you know.